Doing this tutorial makes me want to wear this jacket for some reason. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Draw It Too. My name's Ramny, and today we are going to be drawing Old Man Logan from the comic books. Before we get to the tutorial, you guys, I do want to mention, if you guys like what you see and if you guys like what I do on this channel, it would be awesome if you guys hit that subscribe button below. Here in this channel, I show you how to draw your favorite characters in easy to follow, simple step-by-step instructions. So please hit that subscribe button, get that notification bell on so that you guys are updated whenever I upload new videos. Anyway, so let's get on with the Old Man Logan tutorial. At the time that this video was released, Logan, the movie, has not been released yet. It's actually coming out. Today's Monday. It's actually coming out this Friday. And I'm so pumped. I'm so excited to go see it. This is, of course, the last time we are going to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and also the last time that we get to see Patrick Stewart as Professor X. We've been hearing a lot of really good reviews about it. It's going to be visceral, it's going to be violent, so I am very excited for it. So to celebrate, we are going to be drawing Old Man Logan, which is from the comic book. So this isn't the Logan that we see in the movie, but rather it's from the comic book storyline, Old Man Logan, which you guys should definitely check out if you haven't already. I'm not going to spoil Old Man Logan for you guys, but this new Logan movie is a definite departure from Old Man Logan, just because we know that Fox doesn't have the rights to characters like Hawkeye or the Hulk or Red Skull, which are prominent characters in Old Man Logan. So Logan is going to be a completely different movie. We know that. Anyway, to get started with this video, as usual, you guys need a pencil, an eraser, any type of white paper, and black pens to ink afterwards. As you're watching this tutorial, remember that you can pause at any time so that you guys can catch up. Remember that we all draw at different speeds, so find a pace that works for you and stick to it. And also, if your drawings look different than mine, that is completely fine as well. Having said all of that, you guys, let's get to the tutorial. For our Old Man Logan drawing, we're going to be drawing him just up to the waist. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to first draw a circle, and I'm going to draw it in the middle of my page here. I'm going to draw it about this big, just like that. And then I'm going to bring that down, and I'm going to make Logan with a very square jaw. A square jaw kind of shows it's kind of like the characteristic for really manly men, I guess you could say. So here's what I did. I drew two lines going down. They sort of spread out a little bit, but not too much. And then I drew the jaw lines right here, and then I just drew a straight line for the jaw, just like that. Okay. From there, I'm just going to draw a line here and here. Not necessarily the necklines, that's for the jacket. And the jacket itself is going to come out this way. So I'm going to draw the collars coming out this way and this way. Okay, so we're going to draw the outline for Logan first, and then we'll get into the little details on the face and everything else. Okay, from here, shoulders. You don't want to make the shoulders too wide, so you want to pay attention to the proportions as you draw this. So I've got the collar like this, and now I've got the shoulders like that. And so that's probably a good enough size. It could be a little bit smaller, to be honest with you. So that's a good size for the shoulders and the collar. I'm going to make the collar go in right there, and this one in like that. Okay. Now here's what we're going to do. We have to draw Logan with his arms crossed in front of him. And so you want to start shaping that. And the first thing is I'm going to draw this rectangle tilted like this right there. And I'm going to draw it very lightly like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, just a rectangle right here about this big. Don't make it any bigger than his head. Make sure that it's smaller than his head. You want it to be about like that, because these are going to be his fists, his hands, and we're going to be crossing them this way and this way. So we want to make sure that we've got the forearm in the right spot, and we've got the arm in the right spot. So that's what you want to do. And speaking of forearm, let's just draw the forearm from here. You want to cross like that, and this one as well, like this. Okay. Now you notice that it sort of spreads out as you go. And same thing over here. So I kind of made sure that there's a lot of space right here and a little bit of space right here. Same thing over here. You want to start here and here. And you just want to cross it as you get to the other side. And you want to try to get those at a correct angle, so that at the same angle, so that you get the elbows in the exact same spot. So you notice that I've got this one this way. So I want to move it down a little more this way. So let's do that. Like I said, you want to make sure that they're at a good angle with each other. And here's another guideline you can do.
here's sort of roughly the center of it. You kind of want to make it so that the forearms cross each other right at the center. So do that as much as possible. All right. So now I've got the forearm and I've got the shoulders and I've got the fists where I kind of want them to be. You want to make sure that when you start drawing the elbows, that the elbows are not too far down your page. So you want to adjust these lines so that the elbows aren't all the way here. Because imagine if the elbow is are all the way here, then you'd have to draw the forearm or the upper arm this long, and it's just not going to look good. So you want to make sure that this right here is an appropriate length for the upper arm. Okay, and you also want to make sure that this is an appropriate length for the forearm as well. Okay, so once you do that, I mean, feel free to pause this video so that you guys can get it right. Okay, and I'm going to find a spot right here. This is sort of where I want the arm to start moving up. Okay, so right here and right here, they're approximately the same distance, or in the same distance away from the center, and the same plane right here. Okay, now I want to slowly build. So here's my elbow, and this is my elbow. I want to slowly sort of turn my arm or draw the upper arm so that I have this as my elbows. Okay, so you want to work on that, and you want those biceps to be a little bit big, so you want to make sure that they're, you know, appropriate for Wolverine, because he's a very burly person. And you know what, I'm also going to draw, I'll just draw it like this, because that's how the jacket goes anyway. There you go. So that's why you want to make sure that you got the shoulders right, and where the elbows are, you want to make sure you got that right. Okay, so you should have that. And of course, I'm just going to draw 3 straight lines going this way from, just to give a rough idea of where the claws are going to look, or what they're going to look like, and where they're going to be. And when you draw the claws, right now I'm just drawing them as straight lines. They do get wider as you go out. And I do like to draw the middle claw taller than the other two. Of course, you want to make sure that these claws are the same length as well. Okay, so there's a rough estimate of where I want those claws. Now let's continue. Let's keep going down. From here, imagine this line just going down this way, and imagine this line going down this way as well. We're going to continue his jacket. His jacket is going to be open so that you can see the shirt that is underneath. Okay, so here's the jacket, here's the open part. I'm going to go back over here. I'm just going to draw a line going straight down. Actually, you want to find a spot where you sort of got his waist narrowed. So here and here is probably a better spot. You want to try to get that even. Yeah, that's a good spot for them. So he's not too fat. He doesn't look too fat down here. But again, his jacket is open, so you kind of have to understand how a jacket sort of goes around, forms at this part when it's open. So it's not as tight. So that's good. You don't want it too fat, right? You want that jacket to be narrower down here than up here at the shoulders. Okay, and about this much down. So I'm going to end it right there. That's where his jacket is going to go. Right inside, right around here is where his belt buckle is. So I'll draw that. And then in here is where his waist is. So I'm going to draw his jeans or his pants coming down this way and this way. So there's an approximation of Logan, just like that. Now let's start getting into the details. And of course, we'll start with the face. And it's a good time right now to pause your video, sharpen your pencil. If you guys are using these kinds of pencils and not mechanical ones, it's good to have them sharp. All right, so let's erase that line, the bottom of that circle, like that. So we've got this shape right here. Let's first draw the hairline. And the hairline kind of goes like that up at the top. And then once you reach the sides, he's got these widow's peaks right here and here, and then you go down. Okay, so he's got this military style short haircut. All right, now we've got the forehead, and here's a good distance down from the hairline. That's a good size for the forehead. So this is going to be the eye line right here. And I'm going to make it so that it comes to a tip right here, and it sort of just spreads out slowly, and it goes slightly up. So you got these 2 angled lines. All right, here's the nose. I'm going to draw the nose as an inverted triangle. Like that for now. And then I'm just going to draw the nostrils coming out like this and like this. And that's the thing with Wolverine, is he's not exactly drawn as a very handsome looking superhero. He is an older looking man, especially in this one. So there's that. Now let's draw the eyes. And you don't want to draw too far away from the center, of course. We've already got this huge bridge for the nose, so let's start right there. There's a good size. And do the same thing on the other side. Of course, you just want to work it until you get the right shape, the right symmetry, and that right angry look. And then, of course, the pupils are going to be right in the center of the eyes. Looks like an alien at this point. We'll have to fix the nose a little bit later on. I mean, it doesn't really look like that. All right, pupils in the center. I'm going to just draw a circle like that. And now let's make him look angry. So I've got these lines right here that give him that angry look. I'm going to bring it up slightly like that, over there and over here. These are going to be for the eyebrows. Okay, now here's the upper part of the eyebrow right there. And right there. And now I want to fix that nose so that it doesn't quite look like he's an alien. So I'm going to draw that, and I'll keep those lines, but I won't draw them too heavy. Here's the bottom of the nose, fix that. There you go. Not quite old looking yet. I'm going to bring the chin down a little bit more because I think he needs that space. So first I'm going to draw the growl, the angry, growly face. It's pretty much just a straight line with the ends of it kind of dipping down like that. Here's the lower lip line. And then here's the chin part. And his chin sort of comes out like this and like this. Okay, I'm going to bring this chin down slightly lower to here. And I want to give that little dimple on the chin like that. All right, not quite Old Man Logan yet. Let's bring the hairline out like this. And then let's draw some old man ears on the side. Here and here. He does look a little weird right now, but that's because he's got a really wide jaw, and it's not meant to be that wide. The reason why we made it this wide is because we are going to draw, of course, we're going to draw his beard or his sideburns. I don't know what to call it, to be honest. Okay, so first here, I'm going to draw a line coming out from the nose and into the side of the mouth like this. So now he's really angry looking. Okay. I'm going to draw some old man cheek lines, and then the fuzz right here goes down this way, goes down this way. It sort of comes down this way as well. And that's how we get the line on the side. Okay. And that's how we get the sideburns slash beard. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to reshape it so that it doesn't have quite a rounded head. So I want to bring the hair up a little bit higher. Logan must have really good genes in that he doesn't get bald when he gets older. Okay, now we'll do the same thing over here. Here's the fuzz. It just sort of goes out like that. Okay. And I sort of made my hair go out to the sides here, but feel free to shape your hair any way that you want. Because in some of the reference photos that I've seen, he's got his hair going down over here. All right, so here's Old Man Logan, looking as haggard and angry as can be. But he's not quite old man yet, not until we draw in the wrinkles, of course. Let me just give him some thicker eyebrows. Okay, so I'm going to draw this right here, just from his nose, and it just goes down like that. Okay, I'm going to draw some bags under his eyes, here and here. That makes him look older. And right here at the ends of his eyes, I'm going to draw some crow's feet. And those are just wrinkles coming out. Careful and not drawing them too heavily, because if you do, it might end up looking like eyeliner. And you don't want that. You don't want Logan looking like he's wearing eyeliner. Okay, so there's that right there. I'm just going to adjust his nose very slightly. And feel free to do the same thing with your drawings. Just adjust it so that you guys can, you guys are more pleased with the appearance. Of course, you're always free to change the picture however you like. You don't have to follow my directions 100%. Okay, now let's draw the angry forehead lines. Go around like that. And a little line going there. And then, of course, the old man forehead wrinkles going across. I'm going to draw that like that. So one straight one, or one long one, and then two short ones up at the top. Should be good. Okay, temple and temple. There you go. I think that's enough wrinkles on Old Man Logan for him to really look like an old man. Stubble right here if you guys can. And you can even give him some stubble here as well. Careful though, and make him look like if you don't give him a lot of stubble, it just looks like he's got really bad facial hair. There you go. I'm pretty satisfied with my Old Man Logan face. So let's move on. I'm going to move on to the, you know what, let's move on to the arms, because the arms are actually what's in front of everything. So let's draw what comes in the front first. And the first thing I'm going to do is erase some of my guidelines and start shaping the hand. So I'm going to find a spot right here that's going to be for the jacket. Okay, so here's the jacket right there. And I'm going to redraw this line so that it meets the elbow right here. And this goes like that. There you go. Now, over here, I'm going to redraw the fist. So here it is. Here's the hand coming out of the jacket. And this sort of just, I'm going to change the shape of that rectangle so that it looks like this. So here's the wrist coming out, slight curve right here. And then I draw a line going up, and then it curves, and then it changes directions this way so that it's got this rounded square almost. Now from over here, I go further out. So this should stick out more than this one does. It goes up and then in like that. And then from here, like that. So it kind of looks like a boxing glove, but let's fix that. Draw a wrinkle right there. And then let's start drawing in the fingers, and I'm going to start with the center so that we know exactly where those fingers are going to be. So here's the center, here's the middle finger right here, here's the ring finger, and here's the pinky. I'm going to make the pinky small like that, and then it just grows into the arm, the fist. Still kind of looks like a boxing glove, so we're going to draw the knuckle. Here's a knuckle right here. Here's another knuckle right there. And then here's a knuckle. And here's the other knuckle. Okay, of course, we've got where these knuckles are, the middle right here, this and this is where the claws are going to come out. So let's redraw the claws. Coming out from here, goes out this way. About that length is good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw two straight lines coming out. As they come out, as they come out, they spread out, and then as you reach the tip, they get narrow again. So there's the center right there. And then let's go back here. Here's the angle that I want. And of course, you want these two claws to come at a similar angle from the center. So here's my center. I want this to come out this way, and I want this distance to be the same as this distance. Okay, so you want to do that. There you go. So there's the claw. Just like that. And now let's do the other hand. Let's reshape it like this. Then this one goes like that. Okay, I round it off over here, I bring it down, and then this goes out this way, and then it makes this, it tucks in right in underneath that so that it makes a fist. Okay, you want to make sure that these two are roughly the same size. So if that means you guys have to readjust some things, then feel free to do that. Okay, here's where the jacket is, right there. Now let's find the center here. So here's the center part. Find where each individual finger lies. And then start shaping those individual fingers. And then find the knuckles. Here's one. Here's the other. I've actually drawn this line right here, just as an added detail. Okay, so here's the other hand, and now let's draw the claws. Of course, you want this distance to be the same as this distance, but at the same time, you want it to be the same as this as well. There you go. That's that. Let's continue with the jacket coming down over here. Here's the elbow point, and you want the jacket to be a little bit more than that, so it goes there. And then I just erase this part until we have the hands, just like that. Let's work on the neck part. Right here, he's got this part of his jacket is fluffy, so I'm just going to draw it like I would clouds. Now you don't want it to. You don't want to draw it like clouds like this. But what you want to do is draw some random zigzag lines going up and down like that. Okay, same thing over here. So I'm not drawing them like this. That's not what you want to do. It'll look cartoony if you do it like that. And you know what? I think I drew this one too much. Okay, and I want those collars to sort of go in this way and this way. So mine, they tuck in behind the claws. Yours might not do that, depending on how you drew your hands. So just find what fits best for your drawing. All right, so here's the neck, and let me draw the shirt line. The shirt line is going to be right here, but it's going to have a little button down right in the center. So here's the shirt right there, but I created this little uneven gap, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to draw the neck. Here's just the neckline right there, and here's his Adam's apple. Adam's apple goes right around there, just like that. And then collarbone, collarbone, right in the center. Make sure you get that right. And then right here, two more necklines going like that. Okay, so there's Logan's neck right there. Now let's move on to the jacket. We did the hard part of this drawing. Now all we really have to do is just add the details on the jacket and the belt and a little bit on the pants, and that's it. Now let's move on to here. Let's just draw some wrinkles coming out of the jacket over here, like this. Now you want those wrinkles to sort of wrap around his arm in such a way that it gives his arm some shape. So some on the armpit. So it's giving that bicep shape right there. And it sort of goes around to this side right here. From the elbow. And then not too many on this part right here. Right here is where it gets kind of tight, right? Draw the seam right here of the jacket. So there's one part, then just draw this twice here. And then let's draw the other side. Of course, again, you want to make sure that the this side is similar to this side in size. So here, I'm just shaping the bicep, creating some wrinkles going down. That is one thing that's very difficult to do a tutorial on, and also one thing that I do struggle with is how fabric folds in on itself. That's one thing I want to learn how to do, is how to draw it so that it looks natural. So just keep working at it until you get the shape that you want. Of course, you want to draw the seam again on the shoulder. There you go. Now let's draw the jacket going down. Let's draw this line going down and this line. Yeah, like that. So I'm going to double up on this right here so that to indicate the zipper. And then I draw this line out there. And then down here at the bottom, you want to leave this much gap going down, or yeah, down here at the bottom. And these two lines overlap. Right here, I just want to tuck it in a little bit like that, and then have it come out again like this. A little fuzz at the bottom, so that lining is fuzzy, right? Right here, just don't make it too straight. Don't make all your lines straight coming down. It's actually nice to give it a little bit of a variety. So just going to change that. And then let's give him some pockets. One right here, and the same thing on the other side, right here. And they're just two long rectangles. I'm going to angle it like that. Right here, angle that like this. There you go. Now, right here, just give a shirt some wrinkles from the belt buckle, like that. So it does look like there's a shirt underneath. Now let's draw the belt buckle, and I'm going to first draw these parentheses, like this. And then kind of a circle with a flattened top and a flat bottom. A little bit of shine on it if you want. And then, of course, the belt coming out on each side, like that. Okay, now from there, he's wearing some jeans, so you want to make sure that, I mean, we're not going to continue it, we're only going to draw it up to there, but it goes down like this, and then of course jeans, you know, jeans have pockets that go like this over here and over here. Okay, doubled up on that, and this. And some wrinkles here, kind of like the wrinkles that the top of your jeans make when you sit down. And that's it. I'm going to end it right there. So once you guys have all of that, that is all. That means you're done. Just make sure that everything is proportional. And once you do that, you're finished. All you have to do is ink it if you want. And that is how you draw, you guys, Logan, or Old Man Logan from the comics. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial.
And that is all the time that we have today. Thank you for watching all the way to the end of this video. I hope your drawings of Old Man Logan turned out great. If you guys are proud of them, I would love to see them. So please go to the Google Plus community and post your artwork there for everybody to enjoy. If you guys are curious about the equipment that I use to make my videos or to do my tutorials, I have links to those in the description below. And if you guys are feeling like being extra generous, I now have a Donate Me button that is on my channel. I have links down below where you can get a Draw It To t-shirt, Draw It To mugs, and Draw It To mouse pads. And I also have a link down below for my art store at Store Envy. So no pressure, but if you guys do feel like supporting me in other ways, I have those links in the description. If you guys did enjoy my Old Man Logan tutorial, it would help me a great deal if you guys liked this video, commented below, or shared this with your friends in social media. Speaking of social media, don't forget you guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Google+, and on my website, drawit2.com, where you can also find a coloring page of Old Man Logan, plus a whole bunch of other coloring pages from all my tutorials here in this channel. Again, you guys, links to all of those are in the description below. Having said all of that, that, thank you one more time. And as always, stay tuned for more so you can learn to draw too. I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Hey, by the way, you guys, stay tuned. I will probably do a Logan breakdown, a spoiler review in my channel coming up next week, so stay tuned for that. Oh, and if you guys did read Old Man Logan, the comic book, let me know what you guys think of it down in the description below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. Really cool. I really like this storyline.